And thanks for tuning to the Manny Project podcast. Thank you for tuning in. My name is John Meningus. You are listening to a very special episode of this podcast. It is labeled and it's going to be called the Manny Diaries Series. And what I want to unlock with the Manny Diaries is basically myself talking about some of the things that have been very personal to me that have helped me along my fitness journey over the last 8 or 9 years or so. And that could be products, it could be tech, it could be food, it could be, philosophies and methods that I have in training. And all of these things come together to equal something that's been really relevant for me, something that's worked very well for me. And I'm here to share and talk about it. So entry number 1 of the Manny Diaries series is the Whoop Strap 3.0. And a lot of you guys have followed me on Instagram and have seen some of my posts regarding, my heart rate, the zones that I train at, and the reasons why I stay in those zones. And the Whoop Strap 3.0 is honestly a game changer, guys. So just talking about it in general, it is a fitness wearable. It is fitness tech, and it's on my wrist right here. I've got it in a gray and a white. And it's fitness tech that is relevant, real, and provides real-time relevant information. And I know I said real and time and relevant all in the same sentence, but there's no other way to describe it. It is literally the best piece of fitness tech that I've owned ever. Let's compare it to what else is on the market. So obviously you have Fitbits, Apple Watches, Samsung Gears, and back in the way back in the day, there was something called a Nike Fuel Band. And each of those devices, they have a specific user in mind. But if you're looking for something that's very fitness oriented, very health oriented, those are not the devices that you want. This is what you want. All of those devices provide a lot of fluff, a lot of distractions, a lot of unnecessary features that you really don't need if you really want to get better in the health and fitness world. So I don't need to take a picture with my watch. I don't need to, watch a workout video. I don't need a pedometer. I think that's completely irrelevant to your overall health and fitness. A lot of those other products provide all of those things, and I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something that can read my body, tell me my body's readiness to perform, and literally how I feel that day. Do I feel good? Are there signs that my body is trying to say beyond what my feelings are that tell me more? There's way more to the story than how you wake up and feel in the morning. And there's no other fitness wearable out there that can tell you that other than the Whoop Strap 3.0. Just want to say, guys, this is not a paid promotion. I'm not sponsored by Whoop. I don't work for Whoop. This is something that I want to do completely on my own because, again, it's changed my perspective. It's changed my thought process as to how I view health, working out, all these other sports that I do. It's literally encompassed all of those things and showed me how to be better at all of them. And I'm going to dig into it. I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to explain how it's helped. So first off, there are 3 main things that the Whoop Strap 3.0 is going to be really focusing on. And I hope you guys enjoy the video because this is my first time going at it with this interactive post. But what I want to kind of share with you guys are 3 things that the Whoop is really good at. So the first thing is it's going to measure your strain levels. So let's say, for example, you do a 10-minute run or a 5-minute jog or 30 minutes on the elliptical, or you play a game of basketball. Each of those activities will hit your body in a different stress level. And as long as you're obviously wearing your Fitbit or I said Fitbit. As long as you're wearing your Whoop Strap, it'll basically measure just how strenuous that activity was that day. So if I played, 5 hours of golf and I walked around and it was extremely hot, there's a good chance it put a lot of stress on my body. Therefore, my strain score for that activity is going to be a lot higher. So it'll measure all of those activities, and it will measure even just like going to work from 9 to 5 and just how stressed you were at work. So if you need something to measure your activity and just see how stressful you really are during that moment, the Whoop Strap will measure that for you. The second part, which is probably the most important, and the second part is sleep. And it's being able to measure your sleep and being able to accurately tell you how you are actually performing in your sleep. So I used to be a guy that got 6, maybe 6.5 hours worth of sleep, and it wasn't good enough. I did that very consistently, and I did not find myself getting very much better, very much stronger, and I suffered as a result of that. So what the Whoop Strap 3.0 has kind of taught me is that obviously more sleep is more important for my body, whereas I was, again, stuck in that frame of mind where 6 or 6.5 hours was all I needed. So I find myself consistently staying in bed for about 8 to 8.5 hours, maybe just under 8, around 7:45. But it's important to know that you're not getting full rest and full sleep during that entire time. And what the Whoop Strap will do is basically measure your sleep efficiency, your sleep latency, and basically how much time you're spending in REM and slow wave sleep. Because if you're not hitting those 2 stages of sleep, you're basically not going to mentally recover if you can't hit your REM sleep, and you're not going to physically recover, because in your slow wave sleep is where you're able to produce most of your body's hormone, which will then help you recover for the next day. So it's been extremely accurate in measuring both slow wave sleep and REM sleep. And again, it's a device that I don't think I would have that kind of information if I had a Fitbit or if I had an Apple Watch. So sleep is the second most important part, where the third part and the third component of the Whoop Strap 3.0 is recovery. And a lot of you guys have seen my recovery score. I've posted it. I'll share with you guys. I'm not going to lie. My recovery score sometimes is really good and sometimes it's really bad. But your recovery score is a reflection of how you treat your body both that day and even the day prior or the days prior up to that point. So if, for example, you got drunk and you were hungover the next morning, obviously your recovery score is going to show that. It's going to be reflective of that. But it takes the measure of HRV, which is by far the most important measure and metric that I've realized now. It's no longer about heart rate and where your resting heart rate is. However, if you combine resting heart rate with HRV, it will basically give you a better idea as to how your body feels. So again, I can wake up in the morning, feel super good, feel like I was well rested, and go to the gym and work out. But my Whoop Strap might actually tell me, hey, your body is not physically ready today. You didn't get enough recovery. You didn't get enough sleep. Your HRV is extremely low and your resting heart rate is really high. So there's something that's not really good that's going on right now. So you probably need to take a break. And since I've had the Whoop Strap 3.0, I've definitely been taking more breaks, definitely listening to my body a little bit more, because again, my personal feelings when I wake up in the morning are totally different than what a Whoop Strap 3.0 might actually tell me. So I'm starting to learn some tips and tricks as to how to increase my recovery. Some of those include obviously better sleep, extremely good hydration, turning my phone off at a certain point in the day, winding down before I just fall asleep. There's a lot of things that you can do to basically wind yourself down and make sure that you're getting very consistent sleep and that you're following your circadian rhythm, which, by the way, is probably the most important thing. So with all of those 3 things, so if it measures your strain, your sleep, and your recovery, what the Whoop Strap does is it logs all of your data. And over the course of the week, you will be able to see yourself and determine if you're actually peak performing, if you're on your way to good performance, if you're just maintaining a very steady level, or if you're actually running yourself down. And I think it's important to have real diagnostic data to tell you that, hey, you are running yourself down. Take it easy, take a break, do some active recovery, hydrate well, sleep better, and find your way back up. And this doesn't have to be for the very specific athlete. This can be for everybody, anybody that's working a 9-to-5 job. If you're a weekend warrior like myself that loves to play sports at a very high level and do a very good job, for me, that's the most exciting part, to do well at a sport or an activity. And in order to do that for me specifically, I need to be at my peak performance. I need to understand where my body is and make sure I keep hitting those triggers, because you know what? I'm not going to lie, I indulge. Like, I indulge sometimes in having some sweets, and sometimes those bring down my recovery. But at least I physically know through the numbers to know that, hey, this day, cut out the sweets, get ready for your performance, get ready for, a basketball game or a round of golf, and be at your best that day. And I think this is probably the most important part. Find a way to be at your best every single day. If you guys are trying to find fitness tech out there, whatever you do, do not buy the Fitbits, do not buy Apple Watch, don't go into Samsung Gear. Invest yourself in a Whoop Strap 3.0. If you guys are interested in the products, up here on the window, I hope you guys will see the link that I'll provide with you. But if you're interested in joining the Whoop Strap and the Whoop community, use that link. You'll get $30 off your strap, and you'll get the Whoop Strap 3.0 for free. So I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. If you guys have any questions about the Whoop Strap 3.0, hit me up on Instagram. I am at JohnManny5, or you can also respond to me at the.manny.project. And you can also see my email that I'll post here. But if you guys have any questions about the Whoop Strap 3.0, don't be afraid to ask. Again, this is not a paid sponsorship. I don't work for Whoop. I'm doing this solely because over the last 8-9 months or so, I've really learned a lot more about my body. I've learned a lot more about the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. I've learned a lot about HRV. And if you combine all of these things together, it doesn't have to be for the very specific athlete in a very specific sport. This can be for anyone that's trying to improve your health and understand your body even more. So again, thanks you guys for tuning into this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Look for the Manny Diaries series, episode number 2 coming soon. I hope you guys have a really, really good end of the summer. And honestly, guys, take care. Have a good one.